Hello everyone, Mike McFarland here, the Lake Fork Guide, owner of McFarland Fishing. Welcome to my studio. In the studio here is where we give you a lot of things. We do the Lake Fork rundowns, the free public rundowns. We do the members only rundown privately, which is a lot more detailed than you get publicly. And then we do the Let's Talk Fishing channel, which is a lesson. Every week we do about a 45-minute to 1 hour lesson, specifically on a topic related to fishing. So again, welcome to the corner. Today is Thursday, June 20th. We're going to give you a Lake Fork public rundown. Tell you a little bit about what's happening on Lake Fork. From Monday to today, we've dropped a little bit, but it's not because gates are open or anything. But 40336, 40334, 40330, 40326. That is pretty common rate of fall for the rest of the year now. And it's not like having gates open where there's a dramatic deal going on. Clarity 0 to 2. There's still some yucky water from the floods just, a couple weeks back. And then there's some good clear water down south. Good clear water. The main lake south has got some 2-foot visibility. Water temperatures are in the low 80s, 80 to 84. This morning it was 82, 85. There's some cool things happening. Bass fishing wise, the bass are really starting to school up. They're offshore, and I'm starting to see schooling fish on the points, outside edges of tree lines, roads, humps. Your typical offshore summer locations are working where big worms, jigs, Carolina rigs. Sometimes if you're in the right spot early morning, we can still have some topwater action, especially if they're schooling, blowing up on the surface. But overall, it's a summertime bite now. We're in that range, in the low 80s. It's just going to get hotter and hotter. Fortunately, we've been having some nice winds. This morning was beautiful, east winds. It was a really nice day. We caught quite a few fish on the first stop. And again, they were schooling, a lot of fish schooling. When I say schooling, I mean out offshore, busting surface, pushing bait flying out of the water, bass flying out of the water. It was pretty exciting. So as far as some of the bigger fish, we are catching the bigger fish a little later in the day. Is a better bite for the big ones. Big worms, big football jigs, probably 18 to 24 to 26 feet of water. Definitely later in the day. The later bite is better. More fish early, bigger fish late. But you can drop shot, Texas rig, shaky head, whatever you like in that offshore type stuff. I will give you a few very important factors. One is that you need to be a little stealth. These fish on fork get really, really smart. They're used to being sonared with, this time of year, us guides will go out there and we'll graph until we find them. So they get really used to being hit with the sonar. The boat presence comes around them, hits them with the sonar, the side scan, the down scan, whatever, and then boom, lures drop right in them. They get conditioned to that real quick. So one tip I can tell you is once you found an area that has holding fish, turn your sonars off. Fish it for all it's worth. Leave and come back stealth with no sonars. You already know you found them, say, on a hump in 18 feet of water. Leave and come back stealth from a long distance away, keeping your sonars off. It will help a lot on a lake that's as pressured as high as Lake Fork. Okay, that's my first tip. My second tip is slow down. Slow down. I mean, when you've got fish and you know they're on that hump or structure or road or shell bed, and most of the time we're fishing too fast. We're dragging that worm, 2, 3, 4 feet at a time rather than inches at a time. I like to just mooch on it. Make it just inch. It should take you, several minutes or more per cast. Trust me, if you find that you're reeling a lot, that means you're pulling the worm a whole lot. If you're having to reel a couple of turns every time, you're fishing very fast when you're fishing the worm. Big worms, I'm talking 10-inch, 12-inch plus. Power worms, B&M Wild Thing, Bass Assassin 11.5-inch Bass Assassin worms, really good. Plum colors, blue fleck colors, again, your typical summer locations. Your summer bite, here's a wobble head right here with a B&M 8.25 Wild Thing. Blue fleck, perfect bait. Now, I would want bigger. It's fork. Believe me, what's funny is you can throw this 8.5, 8.25 all day long and catch a few. you'll go to the big one, the 12.5, and you'll actually catch 2-pound fish on that. You'll catch more with the bigger than the small. But anyways, that's what I got for you. I'm going to share a few things otherwise about Fork. I think I've already told you, we had the Skeeter event here, 1,700 anglers. There was only 5 overs caught. I was pretty disappointed that there was only 5 overs caught during that event. We still were kind of in the mix of having that lake gates open, gates closed, etc., etc. And that has messed us up a little. But there's one species of fish on this lake that just doesn't seem to have an end to it, and that is the crappie. So if you like crappie fishing, Jackie Wiggins, he says that the crappie fishing continues to be excellent going into the dog days of summer. Fish are in all the places they should be this time of year. Look for the crappie holding on brush piles, summertime trees, laid downs, bridges, and docks. You can find black crappie in 14 to 30 feet of water. Right now, it seems to be those fish are above 14 to 16 feet as there were a thermocline showing up. There isn't a thermocline yet. Maybe it's starting, but 14 to 16 foot is above it. They should end up being in that 14 to 13 feet. One of the biggest keys to loading the boat with crappie, Jackie says, has been finding fish that haven't been pressured. Lots and lots of crappie guides, lots of fishing pressure. They're still having a lot of success with very small hand-tied jigs, like 16th-ounce jigs, but they're absolutely they're cutting the tails down shorter. The fish are getting pressured and finicky. And remember that when they do that, if you go to minnows, sometimes your minnows will produce more bites, but it seems like the hookup ratio is a little bit less, especially with finicky fish. So stay off of some of the bigger groups of fish and stay with some of the smaller groups. That seems to help too. And then move around. Just move around until you find fish that are willing to bite. Okay? That's what I got for you. Big shout out to J. Hodge Chevrolet. J. Hodge Chevrolet out of Silver Springs. If you're looking for a new vehicle, head that way. Go tell McFarland sent you. Trade in your old one. Drive off with a brand new one. Service. You need your service, oil change, anything like that. J. Hodge Chevrolet. Texas Insider Fishing Report. You can watch us every single week. Texas Insider Fishing Report on television. It's a live fishing report. It covers all of Texas. 3 coastal, meaning the Gulf, and 3 intercoastal, meaning freshwater fishing. 6 guides total. I'm one of 6 guides that spill our guts about Texas. You can watch that every single week. In fact, if I remember right, I think I finally have this place now in the right place where I can tell you where to be. So Bally Sports Southwest and Space City Home Network, which was formerly the AT&T Sports.net. That's where you can watch the Texas Insider Fishing Report. Other than that, big shout out to everyone. Skeeter Boats, Yamaha engines, best engines on the market. Diamond Sports and Fred Barthold up there. Love those guys. Abu Garcia, Berkeley, so many more. Lake Fork Trophy Lures, and on and on and on. Been a really cool trip. 6 months already to move through this year. We're halfway there. 6 more months to go. So I really appreciate you guys and your subscription. Our channel is still growing very slowly at the private level. Very abruptly at the, very slowly at the public level. We're growing just a trickle at a time at the public level. At the private level, the private subscription seems to really be taking off. Remember, the members only channel gives much more details. Okay, when I finish this report, for example, I'm going to take the cameras and we're going to go into my garage here and we're going to sit in the boat and we're going to give a members report and show them the exact lures that I was catching the fish on this morning, show them the techniques that caught the fish this morning. Because believe me, the techniques were part of it. We had the bait for 20 minutes using it a specific way. When we changed the way we used the bait, we caught fish. So the members only channel gives much more information. I also cover a bunch of other lakes. I cover Possum Kingdom, Lake Lavon, Hubbard, O.H. Ivy, Bodark, Athens, Welsh, Hawkins, and more. A lot of information there privately. You need to be a subscriber. So private subscription, look in the link below or the description below. The description below this video will have a link. Click on that link, follow that process, and you can become a member. It's real simple, and it don't cost you much at all. So if you're interested in that, please, we'd love to have you. Other than that, I can't thank you guys enough for your public subscription. Hit the like button if you found this good. comment below if you have anything you want to share. And other than that, I wish y'all a great weekend fishing. Mike McFarland, the Lake Fork Guide.